right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I think I might need to get a new mic. This thing is not holding up too well. Anyway, let me make sure my settings are good. Mic check. Okay, awesome. Sweet. All right. Okay, so as always, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch the show. I've got some very interesting and disturbing stuff to show you guys. More clues uncovered in this case. Really strange. I mean, just discovered hours before before we went live. And for those that may have missed my live show yesterday or the video I put out today, I would definitely check that out. I'll play a little bit of it here, but we're going to get into the 3 a.m. cars because I discovered something that is really, really odd. But quick update on my health. As a lot of you guys know, I was kind of diagnosed with some kind of stomach infection. I ended up getting my medication yesterday. They got it in, thank God. So I took that, but I couldn't go live yesterday because one of the side effects is nauseous, and I did get nauseous. But later on in the evening, all of a sudden, I could definitely tell I was getting better. And so I started working on that video that I put out last night. And then I got up early this morning because for those that kind of know, like, what I was dealing with when you have that kind of, issue, when you're eating, that bacteria is like absorbing your food. So you're not getting the nutrients and it causes all sorts of stuff, including fatigue. And so, and that sucks because, again, I was bedridden for 2 weeks. But long story short, woke up this morning feeling like $1,000,000. I hope it continues. I hope it's not like some kind of placebo effect, but we'll take it one day at a time. So I'm trying to figure out. It won't be a long live. I'll probably just do about an hour. But I'll play a little bit of my video that I put out today. But if you missed it, I would definitely go check that out after. Let's see here. Where should we start? Yeah, let's start. Yeah, good old Crispy. We'll address this one more time with Crispy as well. All right, here's just a little snippet from today's video, but I promise you, the stuff that I discovered is super odd. And in my opinion, I think there's definitely a connection. All right, so just to kind of update people, I'm going to play this clip here. First, let me get it situated so it's not too wide out. There we go. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. We have the best community. All right, so let's play a little bit of what I've been doing. Complex AI and other programs using algorithms to further prove what I believe is going on. So what have I discovered so far? And what else will I be using in the near future? So using Grok's Deep Search AI engine, I took a screenshot of the 3 a.m. video where you can see subject 1 in the green circle. As you can see, I have the 2 floodlights on the left in a red circle and the floodlight on the right within a yellow circle. So I went to Google Earth and measured both floodlights from where they are to the source of the security camera, where the red circle being approximately 287 feet and the yellow circle being approximately 149 feet away. I would also feed the AI the distance between the red and yellow circles, now giving the AI an X and a Y axis to work out the problem of how far away subject 1 in the green circle is from the camera. I would end up doing this 3 times to see if the answers would change, and if so, how much of a difference I got between all 3. During the first time, as you can see here, where it did very extensive calculations given all the data I gave it, and it gave me the answer that the light in the green circle is approximately 272 feet away, which is pretty wild. So I'm going to pause it there. So again, this is a little snippet of the video I put out earlier today. And of course, we kind of touched on this stuff in yesterday's live. So I'm not going to go too deep into it because I'm going to be doing a lot more. But that's just kind of scratching the surface. But basically, I'm going to be using AI and hopefully another program as well to kind of help uncode the surveillance footage. But so I got a lot more work, but in short, as you'd seen, I had given a lot of details because the more information you feed the AI, the more it has to work with. And I gave it a lot of dimensions. Now, keep in mind, all the dimensions are approximate, right? They're not, 1-to-1, but it gives us at least a, kind of an approximate idea. But I actually ran it a 4th time, and I still get over 200 feet from the security camera where it believes that light is. Now, in the future, I'm going to start working with subject 1 and 2 and try to discern how much they moved between, a point A and point B. Again, that's going to take a little bit more work, but from the 4 times that I have done it with the information I got, it's telling me that light, let's see, actually, maybe I pulled this up. This will probably be better. Let's see, AA1, there you are. Yeah, there we go. That down. But anyway, so right now we have subject 1 trying to get the distance on that. But in the future, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to get, because obviously the more info I can feed it, the more it can calculate the differences in temperatures and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to feed it like the floodlights, like the lumens of each of the floodlights, and then also how about I zoom out? That's what I'm trying to do, trying to get them all in perspective there. And then I'm also I'm telling it that I believe it's a flashlight, but eventually I'm going to leave that out and see what it comes up, and then maybe later on I'll try to do some reenactments like I did last year and see if I can add that into the algorithm as well and see if that helps it. Again, this is something a little bit new to me, but it is very fascinating what it's come up with so far, but very interesting. So moving on. And again, like I said, if you're coming in, if you missed the video I put out earlier, I would definitely check that out. But again, I fed it a lot of different information. And again, because I know, since it's approximate distances, I'm probably going to get different results. And I did, but it did have kind of a certain area where it is claiming the flashlight is, which is where we kind of assumed it was, which is very fascinating. Then the other thing is then we did the AI on this, and all I did, just to kind of show you guys, so I think it's A7, and then we're gonna get to new stuff. I think it's A7. Yep. All I did was I just circled this in the purple circle and asked a very basic question and the results. And then, of course, I did it multiple times to make sure it wasn't a fluke. But basically, it was able to tell me, even though we already know, these are headlights and this is tail light, but without me telling it that it is, from a car, as it gave me this, it literally told me that based on the temperature of the lights, that the higher left one had a brighter temperature to it, which is consistent with the headlight, and then the lower right one was dimmer, consisting with a tail light. And here I have it here, which is truly amazing. So I really, like I said, the sky's the limit with this stuff. Truly amazing. So there's that. Again, if you want to check out that video later. And then there's this program, which hopefully there's a couple of them out there. They're a lot more not as user friendly. So I may be doing a lot of tutorials or researching some tutorials, but the basic concept is with this program kind of uses the same thing, AI and algorithm, and basically it takes 2D images and it does a kind of a temperature read. And the closer the object is, it's almost like, when they look into space, the further they go out, the redder, you got the red, was it the red shift? Is that what they call it? The further they look out into the universe, the redder it gets. That's where more the beginning of the universe or whatever, galaxies. But yeah, same concept. So closer the object is, the darker it is. And of course, the further away, it gets brighter. And then as you can see above the people's heads here, it can determine the distance, which is really neat. So I'm hoping to hopefully incorporate the surveillance footage into that program. But that may take some time to learn that, because it's not as easy as just putting the image in and saying, hey, what's the distances? I guess you have to, there's a lot more to it. But anyway, let's see. Close that. All right. So, anything else I want to leave on this? Okay. All right, real quick. I just got to play it one more time. Good old Crispy. I know I said I wasn't going to play anymore, but I wanted to play this one more time because it just lights a fire into my ass and motivates me. But I just wanted to show the hypocrisy in under a different light, and then we're going to get to the 3 a.m. cars, plural. And this is absolutely wild. But let me play this again and just show you the hypocrisy about what he's talking about.
And you do the shit that you're doing, you play with fire, you're liable to get burned. You might want to reconsider some of the things he's doing right now, because he potentially may have a bigger issue down the road.
Yeah, I can't lie. I was pretty shocked about that Texas Roadhouse footage being on their members only and Patreon and shit like that. I don't know if you guys know who Zav Girl is, but Zav Girl was she put Gannon Snouk's autopsy photos on her Patreon and was selling them via Patreon.
My question,
I can't believe they would actually make that kind of connection. That is just absolutely disgusting. So let me just show you the hypocrisy about this, and then of course we'll get into this stuff. But here, let me do this real quick. Let me go to YouTube, right? So let's type in Texas Roadhouse footage, Sebastian Rogers. What comes up? Okay, let's see. We've got one channel here, Eden. They got Texas Roadhouse footage. It's probably monetized. Okay. Oh, we got another channel, Miss Harmony. 13,000 subscribers, probably monetized. Of course, we got the Dog Bounty Hunter where we got the footage. We got the CNY family, has 8,000 subscribers, so probably monetized. And I could just go on and on and on, if you get the picture, right? There's another one. There's another one. Oh, there's Michelle After Dark, who obviously is on the other side of the coin. They're not going after her. I know this video is monetized, although I have premium, so it's not going to pop up ads. But the hypocrisy of it, right? And then I told you guys, if you go to my Patreon page, and then the one last thing I wanted to address is because I'm like, because obviously it's my Patreon page, so I can watch the full video, but I wasn't thinking about it because I believe it shows, if you're not a member, it shows you like a 30-second preview. So I'm assuming they went into my Patreon, and even though it's a 45-minute video with maybe 15 minutes of the Texas Roadhouse, where I'm actually editing stuff, but I'm assuming it probably showed 30 seconds of the Texas Roadhouse or whatever. That's my guess. But anyway, I guess they forgot to see that, it's a 45-minute video. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, the hypocrisy of it, right? Anyway, so. But I told you, Crispy, I'm making you a promise.
Is to him, is I want to know, as he spoke to Seth, is Seth okay with somebody selling videos of his son and making a profit on it? There's a good question. Maybe he should talk to Seth.
Probably if he gets a cut.
Yeah, what about the other 2,000 channels that have videos out there, right? Anyway. Oh no, is he sucking his thumb? Crispy. What are you doing? Alright. Okay, enough games. Back to the real stuff. Okay, now this is where I literally just discovered this hours before because, I started working on the video I put out earlier today. I started on it last night, and then I was working all this morning, put that out. And so I wish I had more time to do some other stuff. I only do it, Ramona, because it lights a fire under my ass. And again, in his own words, you play with fire, you're going to get burned. So I made a promise to him that I will be going over all the surveillance footage I have, every single pixel, and I'll continue to keep going over and over it until we have answers, right? Okay, so let me show you guys some very crazy stuff that I discovered. All right, thanks to the AI. So as you know, there was two cars early that morning. There was the DoorDash driver at 3:30. But before that, there was a car. Yeah, it's 2:58, but we'll just kind of round it off at 3 a.m., right? That drove up Kellen and literally turned around. And I believe it's possible this could be the car that then ends up turning on to Stafford, right? Because, what are the odds, right? Unless there was a third car. You have three cars in a half-hour, time frame on a early Monday morning. Certainly, anything's possible, but I doubt it. But wait until I show you guys this stuff. This is absolutely nuts. And give me a minute. I will get to Super Chats in a bit. Again, I won't accept anything less than $3, right? I'm doing $3.50 now. Okay. So, there's the car. Sedan. Now, that is slowed down, of course. Now, sorry, because this goes fast. Because remember, these cars, I'm not saying they're speeding, but they're not going, slow by any means. So this is on the night that he disappeared. So look at the car. looks like a dark gray sedan. We've speculated about a Nissan, maybe Maxima, Altima. All right, keep that in mind. Then we have on the next day, right, at 3:15, a car that looks almost identical to the last one and does the same exact thing where it literally drives up Kellen, does a quick U-turn, and is back within 8. I forget the times. I started a new notebook, so anyway, I have the times written down somewhere in many of my notebooks somewhere. Anyway, but yeah, they're back down like within 8 to 10 seconds, right? They do the same exact thing, right? But this car looks just like the other one, right? Let me know in chat, and I'll do a side by side here in a minute. That's on the 27th, so this is one day after he disappeared, right? Yeah, Lisa. I was gonna do that. Yeah, I was gonna do a point A and point B to see if it could tell me the speed. But yeah, these cars, all three of them are going fast. So here is me overlaying the first two cars, February 26th and the 27th. Now, of course, there's speed differential. I mean, they're still both going fairly fast. But if you look, of course, they're kind of overlaid. I know it's a little blurry. I will show side by side here in a minute. But they do appear to look like they're the same length, height, appear to be the same color, right? And so these are both overlaid. So I do apologize. Sometimes they kind of come together and sometimes they don't because they're, but this is literally two cars combined right now, and they look like a perfect match, right? And that's what I thought it was. Looks like a perfect match. This is where things get very interesting. So, here we are, the two side-by-sides. Let me know in chat. Does that look like the same vehicle? I mean, you got a dark gray sedan. Now, you got to keep in mind you have motion blur, so, the tail lights aren't going to be as vertical or that length anyway, because remember, motion blur. But... yeah, let me know what you think in chat. Do you think they're the same cars? Or do you think they're different? I mean, I certainly believe that they were the same car. Because like I said, when you overlay them, they just line right up. And what are the odds? And they both do the same exact thing. They drive all the way up Killen, and you can see it. Like, you can't quite see the car itself. You can see the headlights as they make a U-turn. And literally, same thing. Just drive up Kellen. For anybody that's not familiar with the layout, I'm not going to show exact house that has the camera, but the car literally drives up Kellen. And here, you have Devon Court. Now, of course, they have a road, but before this was just a dirt mound, so it's all dead end. You have a cul-de-sac here, but it literally, because you can see the lights from that angle, you can see the lights because it kind of lights up certain things, and they literally do the same U-turn in the same exact spot, right? Two vehicles one on the night that Sebastian disappeared. And then literally the next early morning, just 15 minutes later, but still 3 a.m. in the morning. I would do a poll. I would do a poll, but I'm going to show you guys. So, but yeah, maybe next time. A lot of people are saying same. Yeah, I thought for sure myself. I mean, because when you line them up, they're, yeah. As I go back here, I mean, right here, I mean, they are literally, there's two cars. I've got them, overlaid, with a little bit of opacity. And yeah, the two cars literally lined up, and they look like exact same car. Now, thanks to AI. Oh, well, one more thing first. Just if things didn't get any weirder, right? Then on February 28th, so 2 days after he's been missing now, we have an SUV, which I haven't had time to do AI stuff on that. But look at the times between February 26th and the 28th. These are exact timestamps. Look at that, 2:58. 2:58 on both of them. 2 days apart. Yet definitely two different vehicles. Right? This is definitely an SUV. And what does the SUV do? The same exact thing goes up to Kellen and does a U-turn. Excuse me. Doesn't go down the cul-de-sac on Devon. Oh, what? Where'd you go? Wait a minute. Did it freeze? Oh, there we go. Yeah. So again, a third time now, we have another car going up Kellen and literally turning, not going down Deb, in the cul-de-sac and turning around. No, same exact thing. Going fairly, again, I'm not saying it's speeding, but it's going at a decent speed, just like the previous two cars. Going up Kellen, making a U-turn, right? Now, let's pump in the AI and show you guys what I got here. Because this is where things get really odd. Really odd. Okay, so one more time. Let me pause it. Let me pause it right there. No. Oh. Trying to find a good spot to pause these, right? I should have had this bottom car a little bit ahead. Let me try this one more time. Maybe I'll just play it a couple times. But anyway, on the bottom is the 26, and on the top, okay, yeah, that's a good one there. So on the bottom is the 26th, the night that he went missing, right? This is the 27th, right? The day after he went missing. Looks like the same car, right? A lot of people agree. I certainly believe it's the same car. But there's one thing that sticks out. I don't know if anybody notices it yet. One thing that is different. And it's pretty big. And thank God for AI, because I'm not a car guy. Even the taillights. I mean, look at the back. When you see the back, I mean, look at that. I mean, it looked like a perfect match, right? I was set that these were definitely the same car coming on the morning he disappeared, and then on the 27th. Got it. All right. So let's see what AI has to say about it, right? I thought the taillight is out. I'm not sure on that because both cars look like, because then it'd look like both cars. So I fed it. Oops, let me go back. Okay, so the first thing I asked, because I thought it was odd. Let's see. Where's a good one? Where's a good one? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I don't know. Maybe I'll do this. There we go. So I fed it this one, right? Now this one's the 27th, right? So this is a day after he disappeared. So I gave it this, and I just asked, hey, what's up with the headlights? Because is this a fog light down here? Because there's something going on. It's definitely unique, right? So I asked the AI, like, what's going on here? Because, again, I'm not a car guy. I could change the oil, or not change the oil. I could put oil in. I wish I could change oil. And change the tire. That's what I meant to say. So anyway, it gives me a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to read all of it. But the biggest thing, let's see, is the conclusion. So what it is based on the image analysis, it's evident that the car has two separate headlights on the right side, what they call vertically stacked. Very interesting. Very interesting, because this excludes a lot of vehicles. I mean, there's still a lot of vehicles with those, but no, your comment's right up there. Yeah. So yeah, Nero, you got it. Yeah. So it's got two lights. And so what they are is it's just kind of like your high beam and low beam, where usually they're kind of interconnected, right? Most cars, have the headlight and then kind of have the high beam, kind of in it. But yeah, these ones, and these are unique because, well, let's see, because I ask it, well, what kind of cars have this, right? Well, there's not a lot, at least according to what it researched. And half of the ones that it gave me were SUVs, so I'm like, well, I know those aren't SUVs. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, good call out. So, the two sedans that it could give me was a BMW i7 and a Genesis G80, which I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of a Genesis G80. Both luxury cars, obviously. But both have the two vertical lights, and I'll show you examples of them. This is huge because this excludes so many cars, right? So this is where it's going to get really odd. And this did a lot of research. I mean, it took a couple minutes or a good while, because it was scanning all the different cars. Because it goes, for anybody that's familiar with Grok, I bought the premium so I could use it for Sebastian's case. But at the end, it told me, that based on its research, looking at all these different, vehicle websites and stuff, said, the best guess is a BMW i7 or a Genesis G80 with these vertical stacked headlights. So here is the second one's the BMW. So this is the Genesis G80. Now see the trying to zoom in, but this isn't a photo. So second here. Where are you at? So, is that the one? Yep. So as you can see, it's these little guys right here. So you got two headlights One's the lower beam, and then one's for the higher beam. And, they're kind of gapped. I'm not sure how big the gap is, but yeah. But noticeable, but very unique. Very unique. Excludes tons of cars. This is huge. Then we have the BMW i7. Eventually. And there's it's kind of harder to see, but this one looks like it's kind of got a bigger gap. So I'm kind of leaning, again, I don't know for sure, but this got a little bit more bigger gap between the two lights. I know it's a little hard to see. And I may not have the right model because it didn't really give me a year. But yeah, and so that's the BMW. Four-door sedan. But that's very interesting, right? Because, again, at the end of the day, that excludes so many vehicles. Now, of course, we don't know if this is involved, but it gets even weirder. If it isn't weird already. Because look at these two cars. They look exactly the same, right? What are the odds? What are the odds? Same color? Same length? But yet there's just one noticeable difference. And you can even see it here. Notice the headlight? Right here, when it's further, when we're kind of seeing it further out, you can see the space. But notice on this one, it's just a consistent oval. Where this one is much, and these are basically almost in the same exact position. And notice the difference. There's a clear difference between the headlights. And that's huge. Right? Yet, not one, not two, but 3 cars back to back to back do the same thing driving up Kellen and turning around. What the hell is going on? I thought that too, Prison Daughter. I thought that as well. Is definitely what I thought. And that's what I asked the AI. That is a great question because that's what I was wondering. I'm like, oh, well, maybe the one beam's not on. But no, I did further research on this, on the first one, this is the night he disappeared. But yeah, that was great. That was I thought the same thing. So then we went to AI. And I plugged a bunch of stuff in. Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. Oh, yeah. This is only the beginning. Like I said, I'm going to be switching between this and the 3 a.m. video. Gosh, is this playing? Okay. So, again, you can really see where, you can see the gap between the headlights. Now, so then I'm like, okay, like what was, I'm sorry, the prison Daughter. Yeah, that was the first thing. I'm like, okay, maybe one headlight's not on right now. So then I went to back to the first car, the 26. Now, what's nice is on that night, one of the neighbors had their vehicle out. It's a 2000 Chevy Equinox. What's great about that is I can tell the AI that vehicle, which now it can look up the specs and the length. And then I say, hey, look, and this is what's in the yellow circle. For those that have seen what I did with the 3 a.m. lights video, I tell it what's in the circle. I also said, hey, I'm not sure about the green circle car, but can you kind of give me an estimate on the length or anything else about this car? And then I also did another thing. Since I knew it was going to figure out the length, is because this car drives behind this vehicle, I made it where I paused it perfectly, just like this, where the car is perfectly right behind the SUV. And I told the AI that, and asked it, what can you discern from this? Can you give me an idea? Does that help you with measurements? I also measured, just like I did with the 3M lights, I told it the distance from the road to the camera. Again, the more info you can feed it, the more, it can calculate different items. And so let's see what it had to say. And again, I fed it a bunch of pictures, so not even just those ones. I fed it a picture just where you can see it perfectly. I also fed it a picture where it's coming the other way, so it just has more information. Because for those that remember, I was able to figure out the Texas Roadhouse vehicle pretty quickly. Even though you couldn't see the full car, you could kind of, because of the way the camera is set up, and there was a vehicle. Even though it was moved past the camera, I had to kind of like snip it up and piece it together. But because I was able to do that, I was able to figure out it was a Hyundai Sonata. I think it was a Sonata. Anyway, because they were kind of wondering if it was connected to this car. So anyway, as you can see here, I gave it all this information. I told it was 80 feet, approximately 82 feet from the road. And let's see what it has to say. And you guys may get some deja vu. So here it is, kind of doing its stuff. And oh my God, wait a minute. What do we see here? Because remember, it can detect temperatures and stuff like that, just like it did in the 3M video. And holy hell, look at, after doing research and the length, it gave me 5 different vehicles. And you're going to notice the top one is going to sound familiar. Nissan Altima 2017, known for rounded headlights in some trims, with a length of approximately 192 inches. The 2017 model features halogen or LED headlights, and its designs align with the midsize sedan profile. It also says Toyota Camry. Also gives the length. Most of these cars kind of have similar characteristics, but look at that. Nissan Altima. What have we been talking about 6-7 months ago? What was told to us by the locals? Nissan Altima. Is that wild or what? And this is, again, this is just me doing really 2 days, because I wasn't really doing much yesterday, but two days of using this AI, and I am just getting started. So, hope Crispy's watching, because, again, we're going to find answers. But yeah, isn't that wild? And when you do the measurements, so anybody that doesn't know, 192 inches equates to 16 feet approximately. For those that saw my live last night or saw my video earlier today, one of the wild things that the AI was able to do. So let's just go back here. 1755. Let's just see what the AI was able to do with me just giving it one picture, which was the picture where I circled the lights in the 3AM video. basically not this one, but nothing else was circled. I just circled this one, and I said, "What can you tell me about it?" Is the specs of the security camera, so the AI knows the field of view, and much more. Again, I did this multiple times to see if I would get different or the same results, and the answers I got were truly exciting. So after plugging a bunch of info into the AI, this was the conclusion. It determined that the anomaly of lights were likely coming from a car. It could tell by the upper left light was brighter, which would indicate a headlight, while the lower light is dimmer, which would indicate a tail light. Now, of course, it's not surprising. We've kind of put that together a long time ago, but just without giving any bias to the AI, right? Because I told you guys I did multiple searches, and one of them, the first time, I mentioned, I believe this is a, unknown car, and then I literally just did a fresh one where I literally just put the picture, circled, the two lights, and said, "What can you tell me about it?" And this is what it came up with. It even goes on to say it believes it is likely a small to mid-sized car, approximately 14 to 16 feet, which is exactly what I said I believe the dimensions of this car were. 14 to 16 feet. Now, I know that, when it comes to sedans, that's a lot of cars, but still, just to have that information, and then now learning that the first vehicle is possibly a good chance the Nissan Altima that we've talked about for a long time, that locals had mentioned. Here it is coming, full circle, right? 1755. Chemistry Queen, so glad you're back. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. God bless you, Queen. Really helps us out. Flag Girl, member for 11 months, almost hitting that year. That's so awesome. Thank you, Flag Girl, for everything. She says, "Thank you, Chris. Much love to you. Thank you so much for the support. Really helps me out." Like I said, you guys know, I've been struggling, with the health issues, and hopefully we're on the healing process. But, with the alleged threat from Crispy, I don't know. So now, putting this all together, and here it even gives us the different lengths of the cars. So, Nissan Altima, Toyota Camry are real close. But now we know that we have not one, not two, three different vehicles coming around almost at the same exact time, doing the same exact thing, driving up Callan Ave, and making a U-turn and going back down. That is no coincidence. There is no way. Is it one person with three cars and they're just bored? There is no way that is a coincidence, right? I know we kind of talked about, theorizing maybe a DoorDash, but, we did some research on that. They could technically order something from, I think, the BP store. That's we don't have BP out here on the west side. But it's gas station. I don't know if 7-Eleven's probably. But anyway, so it's open 24/7. It's about the only thing they can order. Because we looked, and most of the fast food places close either at midnight or 1. So I think we found BP. It's about the only thing that there could be a DoorDash. So, again, 3 different cars doing the same exact thing. And now we're getting more info. Again, this now corroborates what we heard 8 months ago about a Nissan, some kind of Nissan that was seen. Because kind of the story goes is, there's one or multiple people that saw some surveillance footage, and they saw the car, and they're like, yeah, it looks like a Nissan, Maxima Ultima. And that is now with the AI, kind of breaking down the information I've given it. And of course, I'm going to continue to try to further cement that, right, as much as I can with that car. But it is definitely different from this February 27th car, which clearly is even more unique car, with it having the vertical lights, which are consistent with luxury cars, which, cancels out a good majority of other vehicles. So the big question is are they all connected? But this is wild. What do you guys think? Let me know in chat. I'll read chat. I was blown away. Because again, like I said, I was convinced these are the same cars. But then, yeah, when you start looking at it closer, you can definitely tell that, this one's got the double headlights. And just like Prison Daughter said, I thought, oh, yeah, maybe the one light's not on or whatever. But no, that's not the case, as you can see there. So, absolutely wild. There's got to be a connection to this. There has to be. 3 different vehicles doing the same thing at nearly the same time, almost the exact same time between the 26th and the 28th vehicles. It's wild. Lady Rose says Crispy's going to need to change his his poopy diaper. Love it. Thank you, Lady Rose, for the support. God bless you. Julie becoming a member. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, Julie. God bless you. Gypsy says, feed AI side profile pics possibly involved. Yeah, I just scratching the surface, but yes. I am going to try to feed it a lot more. Susan just got here. So if you just got here, what we learned is, so just in a nutshell, on February 26th, the night that Sebastian disappeared, we have this 3 a.m. car. Now, this is the car that I believe is possibly the same car that ends up driving up Killen. This part we know 100%. It's on camera. This car drives up Killen and literally just U-turns. Doesn't go to a cul-de-sac. Literally drives up and it's going at a decent speed. Turns around. Comes back down. And then coincidentally, a little after 3 a.m., there's a car that turns onto Stafford. Although we can't see the actual car because of the way somebody recorded it with their phone. Even though the law enforcement has the originals, so they can actually see the vehicle. But what are the odds that you would have 2 different vehicles showing up at that same time, right? Not that it's not impossible. Then, what gets weird, the day after, right? So he went missing early morning 26. The next day, 24 hours after he went missing, approximately, give or take, that next morning at 3:15, so just almost as around the same time, a similar car, which we thought was the same car, we now have figured out it is not. 2 different cars, but they do the same exact thing. They drive up Killen at a decent speed, and they turn around. The same thing. 2 different vehicles. Then, if that didn't get any weirder, we have the next day, February 28th. So now 48 hours after Sebastian disappeared, we have an SUV, a black SUV, which I haven't had time to figure this one out, but I will. It comes almost at the exact same time as the car on the 26th, the morning that Sebastian disappeared. Look at the timestamps. These timestamps are accurate. 2:58 and 20 seconds, 2:58 and 53 seconds. And what does this car do? Or SUV? The same thing as the 2 other cars. It drives up Killen at a decent speed, turns around at this, doesn't go down the cul-de-sac, turns around, drives right back down Killen. That is no coincidence. There's something going on. Could they been trying to get rid of evidence? Did they know that they're going to be caught on camera, and so they're trying to, drive different vehicles? We know Stink Feet and his mama, they have some money. So, but what the hell? What is going on? And then we started to learn that the likely make of the first 2 vehicles. And the first one on the 26th matches up more with a Nissan Altima, which we said 8 months ago, because that's what some locals had seen footage and said it looked like a dark gray Nissan. And here it is. And then this car is actually more unique. It is some kind of luxury car, either a BMW or a Genesis, because it's got what they call 2 vertical lights on each side, which is very unique. And you can tell in this photo here, this one's the 27th, and notice you can see it's almost like it's got 2 headlights, and that's not a fog light. It's supposed to be a low beam and a high beam. So what the hell? What is going on? Yeah, I need to figure that out, Margie. Unfortunately, because I was working on, I put out a video today, and unfortunately, I just didn't have enough time. But tomorrow's another day, and bet your ass, pardon my French, but I am going to be digging so much into this case. No newspaper. No. Yeah, that's the other one. Newspaper, there's one newspaper, but it only comes on a Thursday. And there's another paper. And as a person who's worked with the newspaper before, they're not going to be, because usually it's, not kids, but, teenagers, that are trying to make an extra buck. Yeah, they're not sending them out at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So, yeah. This isn't the newspaper. And again, I have connections with locals. Nobody knows who this person is, right? So, yeah, this is odd. This has to be connected somehow. Yeah, Rachel, I know. Yeah, that is weird. It's really weird. Test runs. If they did it before he went missing, right? Were they trying to? Remember how we kind of had that theory that they were trying to corrupt the footage, because there was at least one report, I think 2, where there was 2 on Killen that did have their footage corrupted. Now, it could be just a random coincidence, but I know one for sure. One for sure, they went to go look at the footage, and it was gone. So, yeah, were they maybe trying to go back and try to corrupt the footage? Were they Well, they weren't disposing anything because they didn't have any time to, but yeah, really odd. The only thing with that, Roxanne, is like you would expect maybe the same car, right? But you have 3 cars? 3 different cars? Not to say that's not impossible, Roxanne. Yeah, I mean, we've looked at all sorts of different theories, but I mean, this is getting weird. I can't remember if there is or not. Yes, there is. I don't know if there's anything in the early morning though. But maybe in the future I'll look. Because yes, that would be one thing I would want to look. Yeah, was there cars at 3 a.m. that on Sunday morning? Barb, from what I heard, there has been some sightings, but they're not regular. But there has been some sightings of cars at 3 a.m., but they're not consistent. Some people think it's just people, coming to, look at the neighborhood. Right. Smoke. Yeah. I do wonder that Texas Rose, because I know that a neighbor said that they had started seeing SUVs that were driving up Kellen and just driving the whole neighborhood at early morning hours. So maybe that one could be them. But God, look at the time. That's just crazy. I'll have to look at undercover SUVs or federal SUVs and see if there's. I'll have to. I'm sure I can get the algorithm to give me at least a decent idea, just like the other cars of, what are the most likely possibilities of the make model. Yeah, it's possible. Again, I mean, anything's possible, Rob. I mean, we definitely have tried to think of everything, and again, it's just the behavior. But here, if it was like the same car, I could see that, Rob. And maybe even 2 cars. But you have 3 different cars at the same, that is weird. That is weird. Very strange. But again, I can't wait to do more. Again, I hope Chris B's watching, because I have a lot of security footage, buddy. And I made you a promise. I will be scanning every single pixel. And then when I'm done scanning every single pixel, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again until we find answers for Sebastian. Because I know you're busy, watching other YouTubers. Joelle, becoming a member. Thank you so much. It helps this channel out so much. I appreciate the support. Reminder on my Patreon. I've got that infamous $3 Texas Roadhouse if you want to check that out. I might raise that because I'm starting, I don't know if $3 is enough. But never mind the other 1,000 Texas Roadhouse videos that are monetized on YouTube, right? Never mind those. Holy hell. These guys, seriously. I wouldn't be as mad, but when Queen Bee would actually mention the Zav Girl incident, that is just so below the belt and just like obscene. Yeah, am going to definitely look into, like I said, I didn't get time to, because I was just so blown away between these two cars, because I was definitely convinced that they were the same car, but they're not. And then learning that it's possible that the first one's the Nissan Altima that we've talked about is crazy. I think this, in my opinion, this could be the car goes up, turns around, and then shows up to, scoop up whoever. So I know I keep saying this. I'm going to do a members live tomorrow. As long as I'm feeling good. Again, this is day 2 being on the medicine, so I have no idea. I feel great now, but who knows tomorrow? I'm praying. The medicine's working. But we'll try to do a regular live and a members live, because I really want to. Because I know I have a lot of new members and a lot of new people that haven't been with me since I covered the Aiden Klum case. And so just a reminder, real quick, and then I'll just read a few more comments here. The search for him is coming up almost a month from now. It's at the end of May. I think it's 2 or 3 days. I think they're going to be out there at least 3 days. They've done this multiple times. I've been with them, I think, almost every time. I think I missed one day, but I've been out there every time they're out there. And since they've done it a lot of times, they, have a great program that they have that they put together. They're very safe. Everybody has radios. Usually somebody has a buddy if you're going to be kind of wandering off. They have a great system. And anyway, for those that don't know, we found his shoes last year, which I'll go in more when I do my members live. And that was the first physical evidence ever found in the case. He went missing 3 years ago. It's not foul play. It's likely, sadly, possibly some mental health issues, sadly, and he just kind of wandered off in the desert mountain range. And anyway, if you guys would like to become part of the Facebook group to give him support, or TikTok, or there's the GoFundMe. Again, I've been with them every time they've gone out searching, more or less, and I know that they use all the funds that they get towards the search, towards, food, snacks, equipment that they need. And, even though it is dangerous out there in ways, but they do it very safely. And yeah. But yeah, if you would like to, again, become a part of the Facebook group, TikTok, or if you want to support the search, there's the GoFundMe. And I appreciate anybody that does help them out, because hopefully if I get better, I will be out there with them. I would really like to be out there, because I speak with the mother often, but I haven't been with her since I found the shoes, because when we found them, it was kind of late in the year. So they never came out after we found the shoes. So this will be the first time. And so I really want to be out there, because, again, I really think we can bring them home this year. And that's what this channel is about, is trying to help, not just cover big cases, but help the little people, Have I seen the Cliff Notes? I'm not sure on what you're talking about, sadly. Thank you so much, Joel. S is saying, after you finish antibiotics, take oil oregano every day as a natural antibiotic. Interesting. Yeah, I think I did hear oregano and something else. I will note that. Thank you, S. I appreciate that. We got Hippie. Hippie Bargain. Hippie Bargains. That's awesome. Thank you so much for becoming a member and supporting this channel. Again, remember, Texas Roadhouse. I'm charging $5 now. Right? Because I know there's still some idiots in here. Sorry, I hate to use that word, but you know. But yeah, on my Patreon, yeah, I bumped it up a couple dollars. Even though it's a 45-minute video and only has maybe like 10 to 15 minutes at the Texas Roadhouse that I spent probably 2 or 3 days editing, and just to kind of show people what it looks like to edit and how much time it takes. Because I know some of these people are in here. You know, it's not just like you can snap your fingers and stuff gets edited. This is the video I made for today. Minus the back half there. That's what I added on. But this is everything that I started last night and worked on and put out today. This took hours. And this was a 11-minute video. Probably took me maybe 6 hours. Well, no, probably 8 hours to put together. So when I put a 45-minute video out, yeah, I'll put the lowest amount, $3. Fuck, I worked my ass off days, right? But most of my stuff on my Patreon, I don't have like the lowest amount. The whole thing with that is, what they're trying to do is, instead of, if you don't want to have a membership and, somebody puts something out and you just want that, but you don't want to have to deal with the membership, you can do, they ask you, hey, you can set the minimum amount for them to just buy that video. And unfortunately, the lowest you can go is $3 because Apple charges $2. But I think that is literally the one. I think I have 2 videos on my Patreon that actually have a paid price. Most of them I turn that off, but again, anyway. But yeah. Whoa. Oh, is it really? Woo. Let's check that out. At night. Oh, there's my favorite buddy. This is my favorite buddy right there. Is that by at night? I can't wait for the America's Most Wanted. That's going to be the 28th. Anyway, April 10th, Oh, I hate when they show videos. This is the only thing I hate when Elon took over is, you pull up Twitter. Even though I try to block those channels, you get one of those videos that are, something terrible. And it's like, oh, why didn't I just put in Sebastian Rogers, I guess, huh? No, there's probably going to be a bunch of, do you know where I find it? Oh, there it is. Okay. There it is. That's awesome. Oh, is it on the billboard? Is this actually from a screenshot from a billboard, or did they just make this? That's awesome. That is awesome. Good for them. Because there's, in my opinion, if we go with the abduction theory and the car, and the more, now we're, going to be using AI and algorithms, the more we use that, the more it just solidifies that you have a driver, and while you have a driver, you have two people moving around with flashlights. So likely three people. One of them, one of them's going to eventually break, right? It's just a matter of time. And as I always say, not always say, but as I've been saying, no such thing as a perfect crime. I hope Crispy's watching. But, yeah, whoever's responsible for this, they will face justice in due time. Hopefully sooner than later. But I know I'm going to do my part and work my ass off, thanks to Crispy. Yes, thank you to my mods. Yeah, I'm going to end it there because I said I wasn't going to go longer than an hour, and I already have. Donna says, for your video tonight, Chris, with a $3 super chat. Thank you, Donna. God bless you. Yeah, so ridiculous. There's thousands of Texas Roadhouse videos monetized on YouTube, but yet, I'm the bad guy, right? Jesus. Sorry. Thank you, Debbie. All right, guys. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll probably do a regular live and then a members live after that. I think that works better. So, and then we'll kind of go over. Yeah, I'll be breaking more stuff down. I'll probably try to get answers for that SUV. And then I'm going to be working more on the 3 a.m. video. I'm doing more calculations because obviously we got subject 1 and 2 moving around. And I want to try to see if we can get an idea of the distances it's moving. I don't know if we could detect speeds by showing a point A and a point B. The timer's not working. Well, no, I think I can figure something out. Yeah, so sky's the limit, right? Sky's the limit, and I have an amazing community. Thank you so much to everybody. Hope you have the rest of a great Thursday, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow again. Just going to take it day to day, but I appreciate the love and support, and I promise you guys I'll do whatever I can to help out with this case. So, and we'll start getting pet outros the more I get my energy back. So, all right, guys.